Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about homeschooling in the state of Tennessee, and we are going to begin with the HSLDA website. If you have any legal concerns or legal questions, you could contact them with those sorts of things. You could become a member. I think it's only $10 or $12 a month, and they could assist you with those sorts of things. I'm not an attorney, so I cannot help you with those sorts of things, but I'm going to try to cover a variety of things, and you can check back at their website to see if there are any updates. And it mentions that you need to teach your children for at least 180 days a year. You must be their parent or guardian. You can employ a tutor if you like. It says there are requirements for the tutor. It says you must have a high school or diploma or GED. Before the start of the school year, you have to submit a notice of intent, and they have a form at the Tennessee Department of Education's website for you. It said you have to include the names, number, ages, and grade levels of the children you're homeschooling, the location of the homeschool, the curriculum to be offered, no particular subjects are required, and the proposed hours of instructions and your educational qualifications. It says you have to give them proof that your child has been immunized or proof of religious exemption. You must teach them at least 4 hours a school day. You must maintain attendance records, which must be available for inspection by the local superintendent and must be submitted to the superintendent at the end of each school year. And they have an attendance reporting form available, it says to you. It says you must give them a standardized test at the grades of 5, 7, and 9, administered by the Commissioner of Education or someone designated by the Commissioner. Or there's other people, and it talks about what to do if their score is low. And these are things, if you're keeping a portfolio or a binder, you're probably going to want to keep a copy of your high school diploma, a copy and proof that you filed the intent, maybe a copy of their immunizations, the attendance reporting form and proof that you turned that in, your standardized tests and their scores. So, and you can go through a church-related school. And it talks about that. And I'm not going to read every little thing, but it's got a website of your chapter of Tennessee Home Education. Usually has contact information for the various ones. There's another list of schools that's available on the website of Tennessee Department of Education, so you could check that out. And it talks about your child be enrolled, and if they're homeschooling, must be supervised by the director of CRS, and you must submit proof to the CRS that your child has been immunized or has religious exemption. And you must comply with their policies, and you must meet any teacher qualification, recording, and testing requirements established by the CRS. These requirements may vary depending on the CRS you choose and your technical relationship with them. HSLDA members can click here for Tennessee legal analysis. And then there's a distance learning school that you can also, and it talks more about that you can read on that. So, and there is that. So that's some information that might help you if you plan to homeschool. And then there's the Tennessee Department of Education, and you can go on their website to find different information, and they have an email there for you. List of accredited online schools, LEA homeschool coordinators. There's the intent to homeschool thing, attendance calendar. So there is that. And there's the church-related umbrella school, independent homeschool, and you can read that on your own time. But I would suggest you print out that information and put the date on it and put that in your portfolio or your binder so that you have that information, because that would be important information for you to have, especially if you're new to homeschooling, or if you want to put your students back in school at a later date. There's a lot of reasons why you might want to have the information in your portfolio or your binder. And if you're homeschooling, whether it's the first time or not, you might want to have your students take an assessment test. And this website has some assessment tests. And there's the links to that. You can download them and save them as a PDF, or you can print them out, or you can print out some of the pages. And I will show you one of them. So you can print that out at the beginning of the year. And this isn't a standardized test. This is just for you to be able to create a plan of what you're going to teach your students. And that way you can go over what they learned and you can see what they absorbed, if there's anything they're struggling with, if there's anything they need to review before continuing on, or what level they're actually on, so that you can create a plan of what you're going to teach your students for the year, or help them create a plan of what they're going to learn. And this one I like. This was from the Alaska's website. If you have never homeschooled and you're trying to figure out, what am I going to need to homeschool my students this year? And this is some of the things that you might need for homeschooling your students this year. And then you can create lists of the books that you're thinking about using. Create brainstorm, you and your students' favorite books, what they're most interested in learning about, field trips they're interested in taking, the favorite curriculum websites, maybe the favorite workbooks. Maybe you're going to use a complete curriculum website for 3 hours a day and a workbook that's complete curriculum for another hour a day. And then maybe you need ideas for other things that they might be interested in learning about. Maybe you're doing the Common Core subjects for 3 or 4 hours a day, but then maybe you're going to add more hours to the day and you want your students to have an open learning system where they can come up with ideas of things that they're interested in learning about that will be fun for them to learn. And maybe you can help them find ways that they might be interested in learning about it. Maybe they want to go to the zoo and they want to learn about different animals and they want to study about animals. Maybe they want to learn about cooking, or they want to learn about making jelly or water bath canning. Maybe they want to learn about the clouds and how the clouds work. Maybe they want to learn about how to make clothes, or how people do different jobs, or what kind of education people needs for different jobs. Or maybe they want to learn how a ceiling fan works, or just a regular fan works. You never know, because the possibilities are limitless. Maybe they want to learn about gardening or farming. Maybe you just want to give them a homeschool where they learn the core subjects that they need to learn, but then they have the rest of their education they're more involved with. But you can help them to choose what they want to learn about and help them to find how they want to explore their learning experience to make it more creative and more fun for them. For the rest of it, who knows? But maybe this will help you create a list of the things that you might need. And that way you can brainstorm your list, and then maybe you can create another list of the things you're actually going to use, or you actually plan on using for their schooling. And then you can have that other list that you brainstormed to look back on later in the year or next year to see what you're interested in. And this is a homeschool attendance record, and you might want to have 2 of those printed out: days that you plan on having schooling, days that you plan on having field trips and holidays. And even public schools have days that are snow days, so they don't, or something comes up. So then you might want to have another list where you actually have school days. And this one's from the North Carolina website that you can see where I found it at, and I just liked it because it just seemed like it was easy to use. This is the IXL website, and what I like about that is the fact that you can easily see the curriculum and the activities they're going to be doing. So like this calendar is probably something you're going to want to put in your portfolio or your binder as well. And if you want to keep the curriculum that they're learning and the different things they're learning in your portfolio or your binder, you can easily print this out. And I think this website's like $20 a month, but this will help you if you're to know what you want to teach them for the curriculum for that year. And if you're keeping a daily log, like day 1, day 2, day 3, and then next to that you're putting like day 1, the date, the time, the name of the subject, the name of the book or the website that they're using, and then you're putting the activities that they're doing to learn. You can see like even or odd arithmetic rules, division facts 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10, so that you can list that as well, so that you can have a really good daily log and put that in your portfolio or binders, because 6, 7 years from now, you might want to look that up to see what they were doing at different times throughout the day. And at the last subject they're learning at the end of the day, you want to put the start time and the end time as well, so you know what time your school day ended for the day. So you can have that as well. And this is Khan Academy, and it's free for everyone, everywhere it says. And it's pre-K all the way up to college. And this is supposed to be an excellent website. And this is all-in-one-homeschool.com, which is EasyPeasy.com. And you can they take you to a website to try to get you to donate, but you don't have to. And then if you find you absolutely love it, you can donate later. And it has Bible classes, so if you want to start the day out with Bible, you can. I don't think it's in their daily activities, but it's there for you. And it uses different websites, so it might have like a little underline like this, and they might go to one website for math and another one for history and another one for reading. So it's just a great fun website. And some people will use one of the complete curriculum for math and another one for English, because it's just depending on what their students enjoy more and what they like more and what they decide upon. And this is PBS, and it's another great educational website that you might enjoy, and you can check it out and see if it's one of your favorites or not. There's so many that I can't get them all in the video, but I've tried to put a few of them in here. And this is Schoolhouse Rock. Maybe you heard of it or maybe not, and maybe you heard of it and didn't realize that it covered grammar, science, economics, history, mathematics, and civics. It's not a complete curriculum, it's just to add to your curriculum so that it's fun. Maybe you want to go make lunch and you need a break. Maybe your students want a break. Maybe they want something that is just so much fun, because you sing the songs, you memorize the songs, and some of them remember them up into their adulthood. So this one shows they learn multiplication tables. We even learned about adding and carrying and things like that. This is Grammar Rock, and it teaches them a noun, a verb, conjunction, adjective, adverbs, different parts of speech. So if they're learning this when they're younger and they need to know this when they're in junior high and high school, these are songs that they memorize, so they'll be able to remember it easier by singing along. This is America Rock. And if you've ever seen like the jaywalking comedies where Jay Leno's asking people questions and they don't know some of the answers, some of the answers you might find in here, because there's these songs about voting for the president, the branches of the government, the Declaration of Independence, immigration, United States Constitution, American Revolutionary War. So maybe you want your children to sing some of these songs and learn these things. And then there's Science Rock, and there's also Earth Rock, which includes science, and you can see what it teaches them under this subject here. And there's Money Rock, so if you want them to learn about family bills or personal budget, or if that's what they're interested in, bartering, the history of currency, that's some of the things that it teaches them. And there's Earth Rock if you're interested in this type of subject. It's just fun to sing the songs and learn the songs, and it's a fun way to learn and a great way to hold the memory of the things that they learned. So I thought that was an excellent website, and you can see this is Core Knowledge, and I haven't really explored this one or used this one, but I thought I would include it anyway so that you could check it out and see if you like it or not. Because like I said, I have so many resources that it's hard to pick which ones to put into the videos. And this is readworks.org, and it says free content, free curriculum, and tools to power teaching and learning from kindergarten to the 12th grade. So you can check this one out. It's got a fun picture, so it looks like it would be a fun way to learn, but I haven't explored this one either. I just thought it was really cute. So, and this one is International Children's Digital Library, and it has around 4,000 or 5,000 books. Some of them have different editions that they came out with. So you can click on the book. It's very user friendly. Click that you want to read it, and then you can click on the pages, and then on the upper right hand corner you can turn the page to the left or to the right, and then you can scroll down or you can zoom out so that you can see how easy it is for you and your family to use. And I just love this website because, like I said, they have 4,000 or 5,000 books. So if you don't want to go to the library, or you've got so many books in your house already and you just want more books to read, and if you are taking your children to the library, your students to the library, you might want to create a list of library skills that you want them to learn, and then give them a certificate of achievement and put that in your portfolio or your binder to show that they learned those skills. This is another excellent website, and yes, it does say UK, but it has complete workbooks that you can find here that you can print out for your students. So it's an excellent resource. It is one of my favorites because it has so much to offer. Here, I'll click on it and show you. This one goes year R to year 6. So I go to 2nd grade, and then I'll go to, there's resources for year 2. There's resources for year 3. We'll do year 3. So you can see the different pages of workbooks. So if you need workbooks, and I don't know if you want to print them out from home or if you want to go somewhere else to print them out, or which way's the least expensive, but if you need workbooks, there's you some workbooks. So I thought it was an excellent resource. And if you are homeschooling, you might want to join a homeschool support group because they have knowledge and experience, some of them. Sometimes they meet to do field trips or outdoor activities together. Sometimes they share books and curriculum, and they have great ideas. Sometimes they can answer questions for you or share information that you had never thought about asking. And so you learn so much, and some of them are free and some of them cost money. So you can look into that to see if you're interested in a homeschool support group. So that's something else that if you're keeping a portfolio or a binder, some of the things that you might want to put in there are assessment tests that you take at the beginning of the year to come up with a plan of what you're teaching your students. State homeschool laws. Copies of any forms that you filed and proof that you filed them. Your calendars or attendance records. Brainstorming your favorite resources. The actual list of resources you're going to use. List of field trips you plan on taking. Printouts from contents like web pages like IXL or workbooks to show the curriculum or list of activities you're going to be doing. Sample student work, and I would say maybe 2 pages a week or so. It's just my opinion from each subject, and you might want to have your students create their own portfolio or binder, and you create one, or you put one together, and that way you both take part in it. And so you might want to show a variety of skills or progressive work of the students, and the students might want to showcase their best work. It's just the kind of portfolio or binder you want to have. Proof of any field trips taken. If it's a leaflet, a flyer, photos, you have your students write a paper on it, put the date on it about what they enjoyed the most about the field trip or what they learned, something they learned. Weekly schedule, daily log of activities like day 1, day 2, whatever. The day number, plus the date, the time, the subject, the name of the book or the website, and the activity that they were doing in your daily log. And you can write that down in a notebook, then you can type it up in a Word pad, and you can email it to yourself in case your computer crashes. Print it out every now and then and put it in your portfolio or your binder. If your students are doing self-evaluations or you're doing assessments, you might want to put that in there. You might want to do an assessment every 6 to 8 weeks in every subject, and one in every subject at the end of the year. And you might want to make sure you put a positive spin on it and have your students involved with the self-evaluation. Maybe they're struggling in reading, but they're trying really hard and they have a positive attitude. And then at the end of the year, maybe they went up 5 reading levels in 1 year, and you could put because they had such a positive attitude and they worked hard to get there. Any standardized tests that they took and proof of that. Volunteer work that they do. Maybe you could create certificates or have people write something down Put that in your portfolio or your binder, especially if they plan on going to college or joining the military. If they take classes outside of the home, whether it's art classes, yoga classes, Zumba classes, swimming lessons at the YMCA, you might want to put proof of that or some kind of certificates and put that in your portfolio or your binder. Any contacts with email addresses and phone numbers for the school or your homeschool support groups. If you're taking career study field trips, maybe you want your students to create a list of questions of the education the students needed to get into those careers, and what are their skills that they use daily, and what are their daily activities. Do they have to maintain schedules or meet deadlines or create presentations, or do they have to deal with organizing and things like that? And then you can ask if you could record audio or video footage for the student to use later, and have the student write down the answers or write a paper about it. Maybe this will help your students decide on a career and know the type of education they need. Maybe it will just help them later with interviews or their communication skills. You could see if you could get a tour of the hospital and talk to different people that work in different areas at the hospital to ask these questions, or go to a veterinarian's hospital, or go to a hotel and talk to different people in different areas at the hotel if you can get permission to do that, or a local factory. You can go to the Chamber of Commerce to get ideas even. So those are some of the things that you might want to put into your portfolio. So hopefully that helps you. And I tried to cover a lot of areas, and I hope this helps you with your homeschooling. And please feel free to leave comments. And thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I have a very small channel, and I really greatly appreciate the viewers that I do have. Have a great day. Bye-bye.